Hello, this is the Convo Guy here. Today, I have a special guest, Dale. It's a pleasure having you. Today, we plan on discussing Travis Hunter. So, to those who don't know who Travis Hunter is, he was the 2024 Heisman Trophy winner. He's a very unique athlete. He plays both offense and defense. Specifically, he's a cornerback and he plays wide receiver. He has the potential of being number one in the 2025 NFL draft. But as of lately, he's been blowing up on social media a lot, not due to his amazing on the field performances, but due to what his fiance has been doing behind closed doors that has been dragging him into the situation. Dale, do you mind giving a brief summary of the situation?
Yeah, so kind of like you said, like Travis Hunter is like pretty much an exceptional player that's been dominating in the college football scene. And really both on offense, grabbing he's been grabbing plays, he's been getting a lot of touchdowns, he's been getting like a lot of yards. And even on defense, he's been getting like a lot of interceptions. But for whatever reason, he's had his fiance that's been in a lot of controversy, Leanne Lay. Like she's been causing a lot of trouble that happened currently in time, and for whatever reason a lot of things had occurred because of those controversies to the point where people decided to go ahead and dig back into her past to go ahead and discover a lot of hidden truths about her, and that situation is completely blown Travis Hunter out of the water.
So, do you feel like she loves him?
To be honest, I feel like if you know somebody long enough, you can love them. Like if you were to go ahead and take two people and they were the only two people in the world and you were to go ahead and put them on an island for whatever reason, like even if they hate each other and they're like the worst enemies, they're gonna eventually end up loving each other. So I feel like Travis Hunter, he has love for her. Whether he's attracted to her, whether it's any type of care that she had made given to him, that he actually loves her. But for whatever reason, I'm not fully convinced that she actually loves him for himself.
Because it's like, it's this is such a sticky situation. It's like the guy's worth 5.5 million, and that's enough to keep any woman happy. But this specific woman decided to get on social media and discuss how you know Travis used to wait for her at parties in his car while she used to turn up. So it's like, if you love this dude, why put him on blast the way she just did?
Yeah.
Like, what's the logic behind that? It's like, you
No,
know,
I listen. I completely agree with you. For whatever reason, I feel like Leanna Lene. I feel like
oh, that's her name.
yes.
Okay,
I
okay.
feel like for whatever reason she is having a victim mentality, and I think that's really the main problem with Travis Hunter because from the start everything used to be fine. Travis Hunter, he was dominating. Nobody ever necessarily had a problem with her. Her first problem in terms of like issues first came when there was like a video that surfaced on Twitter of her getting upset on the sidelines after Travis Hunter just had like a good game. And a lot of people went ahead and pointed it out and they're just like, yo, why is his girlfriend getting like so mad? And not a lot of people even necessarily even knew about the upgrade to fiance later on. So a lot of people are just like, yo, your man's is doing good. Like, why are you supporting him? Why are you causing like, a lot of stress on him? And, there wasn't necessarily a lot of talks about that, but that was the first instance where a lot of people took notice. And that's one thing that I will say that on social media, a lot of people do have to like be aware of their emotions and feelings because everything is always constantly recorded. And from that situation, everything went ahead and just like blew up. It was like a whole situation where they started to notice that after Travis Hunter had got signed to Adidas, there was a video of her where she was sitting down on the couch and she was complaining to Travis Hunter, saying that why do I always have to sit over here? Like, what's the issue? Like, why am I here?
It's
And
funny.
he's working.
It's funny because that's I think that video took place when after he won the Heisman Trophy.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like he's the next man up. So he's signing autographs, and she just over here like sitting on the couch And you know now there's technology that could read what your lips are saying.
Yeah.
So she was heard saying, "What do you want me to do?"
Yeah.
And it's just like your man, like your man just he's about to get paid. He's going to the league.
He's getting paid, right? He's getting paid currently. He's getting paid to take pictures. He's getting paid to sign autographs. He's getting paid to stand there and be himself. And you're asking about what you want to do. And that's really where the issue is. And after that, that was really the catalyst. That was really the start of all the trouble that eventually led to her downfall.
Me personally, I feel like the catalyst occurred when she was on the sidelines. You know, your man had his best college football game. They blew the team 52-0. That's already astonishing. The man had, I think, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 116 yards. Like he
was doing good.
He went crazy.
Yeah.
He's looking for his shorty. He's trying to get a kiss or a hug, and she's not going for it. And she's like complaining about something. It's just like, yo, like, so that was red flag number one. That's just like, yo, like.
And I think that's the thing about it. It was red flag number one. And just like you said, it could be the catalyst. But ever since that time where it was the Adidas event where they went ahead and had that controversy, a lot of people are just like, who is this girl and what is her attitude? Mm-hmm. And that's why I kind of felt like that was a catalyst because, if you mess up once, shame on you. Yes, she was mad at the sidelines. A lot of people, well, anybody can go ahead and get mad. At the same time, it's like, who are you? But at the same time, it's okay, cool. But, fool me twice, it's like, shame on me. So really, the second time they caught her messing up when she was at the Adidas events, everybody said, this is the second time that this girl really had the audacity. Who is this girl? That's when a lot of people decided to go digging in her past. Not a lot of people necessarily even knew about her, but all these viral moments that she was having, they then decided, okay, who is this girl? Okay, let's go on YouTube. They went on YouTube. Then they started researching all of the old videos that she was posting. All the videos where she was talking about, oh, Travis Hunter, he wasn't really my type. Oh,
So yeah, that's how it happened. Her body language put her on spot.
Yeah, her body language put her on spot. Her aggressive remarks were just causing people to go ahead and figure out exactly who she was. They started finding a lot of videos of just her talking about like just different things where she was just like talking about, yeah, he used to, wait outside in the car like while I was inside at parties. Oh yeah, he used to like, tell me like, that he loves me and like, I wasn't necessarily sure. They found other videos where, they were probably like having brunch and she was just like, oh, well, we have each other's like passcodes to each other's phones and you was in the back saying, well, I don't have the passcode to your phone.
No way.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. She was just like, oh, well, we have each other's stuff. And Travis Hunter was coming out, yeah, when I take pictures, I go ahead and keep my hands to the side. I don't want to take pictures with anybody. And she would literally say something like, well, if it's me, somebody could take a picture of me and it's fine. But if it's Travis Hunter, he got to keep his hands to himself. There was always some type of bias. There was always some type of double standard that was occurring between the both of them. And the main issue that occurred was when a lot of people started to blow up the situation because of her viralness and her issues. That's when receipts started getting dropped. So I think about the situation with the first incident about like, the receipts being dropped. Like, so for example, like when she was at the party. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you want to speak on that or if you want me to speak on that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, nah. So there was like one situation where she was literally at a party and it was like probably like somewhat of a Halloween party. And she was wearing some type of like, kind of like a kilt, mm-hmm. like a kilt skirt and everything like that. And for whatever reason, there was a video of her in a promo video for the party and, she was dancing and, she was, kind of moving her body around another guy. Is this the video where it shows the proof of the type of things where she was at the parties while Travis Hunter was outside?
Yeah, it's funny because after that was released, Travis Hunter deactivated his Instagram. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, so that goes to show you that he's well aware, just like how we know, he's well aware of her acts and behavior, but since he loves her dearly, he rather, just keep that to himself.
Yeah, and the problem about it is there's like so many issues with what she's doing with herself that's like causing issue. And the thing is, a lot of people, a lot of celebrities, they're all speaking on whether it's Deion Sanders, whether it's Shador Sanders, like whether it's Bow Wow. A lot of people are trying to speak to him and advise him to be like, hey, like we're not telling you exactly what to do with your relationship, but we're just telling you to be cautious because we see certain things. You have a money sign symbol on your ring finger. Like there are videos and pictures of you posting saying that, yeah, this guy is not necessarily like my type. Oh, I didn't necessarily fall for him. I've, had other guys. And for whatever reason, you're leaking out to if you love somebody so much, you're leaking out to the public that, oh, he came into my inbox trying to talk to me, but I rejected him and I said he wasn't my type because he had a girlfriend. And I knew he had a girlfriend because he still had her in his bio. So a man isn't your type because he had a girl? That doesn't necessarily make sense. That sounds like an excuse. And that really sounds like a cop-out.
That's true. But physically, he's not the most attractive. So when you find a girl that rocks with you, you're going to try to hold on to her.
Yeah, but...
it's just like, yo, because he wants to get in attention back in high school. It's just, hey, yo, you going to go to the NFL, but just because you're going to go to the NFL don't mean like we're going to rock with you. He was still ugly. He was a nice ugly dude.
Bro.
You're nice on the field, but you're ugly in real life. So it's just like, how many girls are really gonna come to you?
No. So like the main problem with him was like, cause he's from Georgia, right?
Yeah,
he's from college. He's like right up the street. But the thing about him was like, obviously like we know mad people in like high school that's like they might not necessarily like, be like the most attractive person, but it's just like. If they have something going for themselves.
I seen the dude smile. I was like, yo.
No, but listen. It's not even about him. Because it's not about me to be talking about like other men's like looks and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's just like, I feel like when you're like, especially like in grade school, especially like when you're like a senior or like a junior in high school and stuff like that, it's just like, your self-confidence is just like, It just varies. And for whatever reason, we heard Leanna Lay. She was just like, she was at Georgia State. So she used to go to Georgia State. So she was already doing all of her own activities while he was still over there in high school and stuff like that. Up until the point where it's like, when he went to, college, it's like he wasn't necessarily like still himself. He was still the football player, but it was like he was still that guy that didn't necessarily get all the girls, but he was good at football. And the thing is, I kind of relate with him because I'm not going to lie. Like, when I was in high school and when I even first started off in college, I always felt like I wasn't the most attractive guy. I was just like, dang it, I don't get no girls. Like no girls want to go ahead and talk to me. When I was in high school, I didn't have my first kiss. I never touched a woman. I never been with a woman. I never did anything and stuff like that. Why? Was it because I was shy? No, not necessarily. But nobody necessarily like probably found me attractive. Even though I wasn't necessarily ugly, it's just about like necessarily like how I even felt with myself and how others technically made me feel. So I feel like with Travis Hunter, it's just like when he was still in high school, he was excellent at the sport that he did. But for whatever reason, he just kind of felt like, dang, like, nobody necessarily wants me.
So it's like having that talent, but not developing that personality.
Not having that personality in the sense to being like, women want me for me. Like a good example is like Jared Allen. Jared Allen on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, there was one time where he posted a fit that he had and he was sitting on the sidelines of the court and literally Twitter literally exploded. And they were just like, yo, look at this dude. This dude looks corny. He talks corny. And look at how he dresses and stuff like that. And a lot of people were just like clowning him. And he's just like, bro, I'm just comfortable. It's just like a lot of women would try to, tear down a man just based off of like how he looks or like maybe like how he dresses and stuff like that. And that necessarily kind of is detrimental to somebody's confidence. But the thing is, it's different between comparing a multi-million-dollar NBA player versus a high school player that necessarily has the talent. So the thing is, when he's in high school, even though he's very talented, not necessarily a lot of women are looking at him because at that age, we got to understand what a lot of women are looking for. It's very different the older that you get, the less that some women really care about looks, and they really care about either who you are as a person or what you have to offer. And that's the main thing. Because, like I said, when you're in high school, it's like the most attractive people are going to be with the most attractive people. You're going to see all the cute girls want to go ahead and choose all the cute guys or whatever factor that they like. If he has a six pack, if he has whatever going on, they like to go ahead and choose that. But as you notice, it's like if you're in your 30s, maybe a lot of women are just like, okay, well, maybe he's medium ugly. You feel me? Like, he might not necessarily... Now, some women are coming up with the excuse that, like, well, I don't want a pretty boy because if I have a pretty boy, I don't know, maybe he goes on the other side. Or, you know, I don't want my man prettier than me and he's looking at himself in the mirror longer than me. It's like you hear, like, a lot of other reasons as to why women aren't necessarily going for the most attractive guy. But that's what I'm saying. In Travis Hunter's situation, in his high school, these women that are the same age as him, whether they're 17, whether they're 18, they're not like, oh, you know, Travis Hunter has the potential to be the number one pick. It's like that was the potential. But at the same time, she was playing both sides because she had her own stuff going on with who she felt was attractive versus Travis, who was the money man. Because if you think about this, if you saw the men that she was associating herself with, that they've already pulled out receipts where people are grabbing her and people are dancing with her at these parties while she's technically supposed to be with Travis, you can compare those guys with Travis, and you'll be like, like these guys in a objective way look significantly better than Travis Hunter. They look cooler. They look more aesthetically pleasing to anybody. But for whatever reason, she was with them for fun, but she was with Travis for the long run. And that's really where the issue had kind of occurred. Yeah.
That's deep. That's deep.
Yeah, and I think the main thing about it is at the end of the day, really, our young kids really just gotta have to focus on themselves, and they shouldn't have to necessarily fall into the trap of feeling wanted by somebody just because of who they are. They have to know who they are for themselves.
I don't even know the girl. I just refer to her as Travis Hunter's girlfriend, or fiance. But Shorty didn't even get up when he won the trophy. Like Dion had to stand, and it's just like, if you for me, you would have embarrassed yourself because
that's your future wife.
You love me that much. My coach has to point for you to get up. It's just like that was the red. That was it broke me more than
it was. Yeah, and the thing is, she was the first. Well, she was the last to get up, and she was the first to sit down. And for whatever reason, again, I just don't know what necessarily is going on with her mentally. But, to have to run to social media to go ahead and explain yourself and to try to tell the situation that I know the cameras were pointed at his family and I didn't want to necessarily stand up because, I didn't want to block the family and I didn't want to take the moment away from him. You're not taking the moment away from him. At the end of the day, if you support somebody, you're still going to go ahead and stand up. You're not going to necessarily listen to what social media has to go ahead and say about you. You're there in that moment. You see your fiance standing there on stage getting called as the winner. You shouldn't have to feel like other people are telling you to sit down in a moment like that. If Dion didn't go ahead and get you to stand up, were you going to sit down the whole time because you felt that social media would get on you for standing up and applauding? And come on now.
It's crazy how even the head coach, Deion Sanders, he was successful at the college level. He was successful at the NFL level. And he even told Travis, he was like, man, this is a Hall of Fame coach telling you, if you're going to be with her, just sign that prenup.
Yeah.
And it's just like, dang, that was the red flag. That was it right there. It was just like, man, your coach who was successful at both levels, the professional and the college, that were telling you that yo, it's up. I would have. Yeah. I would have listened to him.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, the main message is to always just make sure that definitely be aware of your surroundings. Definitely be aware of who you interact with. But at the same time, if you're getting advice, if you're getting information from different groups of people that are trying to go ahead and heed warning to you about a certain situation, it's like, just always stay cautious, always try to listen to advice. I'm not necessarily saying to always take the advice, but to just hear what people have to say, because people aren't saying anything for any reason. And I feel like the main reason why a lot of people were really clowning Travis for exactly what was going on was because he tried to be oblivious to the situation.